This is the story of a great man with a small dimple. My name is Zohar Koren, and in this video, I want to tell you the story of my great-grandfather, Nahum Eliezer Philosoph. He was a simple, modest man, but great in spirits and deeds, a pioneer, a fighter, a laborer, and a devoted family man, a man beloved by his friends and co-workers. And as for the dimple, I'll get to that later. Nahum was born in 1910 in Skierniewice, near Warsaw, and was raised on the foundations of Jewish tradition. Life was hard for Jews in Poland, especially with the rise of the National Democratic Party, known for its anti-Semitism and economic discrimination. The Hechalutz movement encouraged Aliyah to the lands of Israel and manual labor. Nahum was active in it, and in 1930 he made Aliyah. He worked in construction and later met Miriam, my great-grandmother. They married, and in 1941 their only daughter Esther, my grandmother, was born. They raised her in the Mishkenot Sha'ananim neighborhood in Jerusalem. In 1942, he began working in the laundry at Hadassah Hospital on Mount Scoops and was later appointed its manager. He was active in the Mapai Workers' Party, a member of the Haganah, and fought in Jerusalem during the War of Independence. In 1955, he gave testimony at Yad Vashem about his relatives who perished in the Holocaust. My grandmother, a history teacher, never spoke of them, likely because her father never did, perhaps due to his introverted nature or the pain of the loss. In 1961, Esther married my grandfather Menashe, whom she met in the army. In the early 1960s, Nahum bought land in Jerusalem and, with my grandfather, built a duplex for both families. It turned out to be the deal of his life, as the street later became one of the most prestigious in Jerusalem, Shmaryahu Levin Street. In his garden, he grew fruit trees, a grapevine trellis, and roses. About 24 years before his death, he was diagnosed with cancer, something he kept from his daughter. He passed away in Jerusalem on October 16, 1968, 6 weeks after the birth of his granddaughter, my mother, Noga. His wife donated to cancer research, and memorials were held annually at the hospital. My mother was told he was beloved, honest, and family-orientated. His wife never remarried. 2 years ago, as part of my Roots project, I started researching with the help of my mother and uncle. There was very little information. We knew that on his gravestone it says, "In memory of his family who perished in the Holocaust," but we had no details, no names, ages, not even genders. We contacted Yad Vashem and found a page of testimony that listed his father as Menachem Mendel. Nahum's death certificate listed him as Menachem, and on the gravestone it says Mendel, so it matched. We learned his mother, Esther, had died before the war and likely inspired his daughter's name. He had 3 siblings, all perished. The address on the testimony, King George Street 47, matched what my mother remembered. The birth year was wrong. We assumed Nahum made a mistake. We found a handwritten eulogy by my grandmother, and a few days ago we found a newspaper clipping of the same eulogy from which we learned he was a pioneer and the only survivor of a large family. A few days ago, we found a box with eulogies, letters, documents, and photos that shed additional light on Nahum's past. The most exciting discovery was a 1930 photo from his hometown showing him with several young people who, based on their strong resemblance, we believe were his siblings. Moreover, I found out that one of our relatives had a close relationship with Nahum since he was a kid. He told me that they had intellectual conversations, especially about literary masterpieces they read. I also learned that Nahum read the entire English dictionary and ran the laundry as if it were his own. And finally, the dimple. I was born with one on my chin. My grandmother couldn't recall anyone in the family who had it, until my mother noticed the same dimple in Nahum's passport photo, which was tucked into the corner of my grandma's mirror. That discovery made us laugh. Through this project, I found other things we share, a tendency for precision and a passion for knowledge. Nahum was the last of the Philosoph lineage. The name is gone, but the memory remains. I don't carry his name, but I carry his story, and the dimple. And I can only hope to walk in his footsteps, with seriousness, learning, and values.